All right, this is the best experience with Nick Best and the Angry Dad. And before we get into today's podcast, I'd like to thank Barbell Apparel, premium athletic wear engineered for performance with a tailored athletic fit, refined clothing for an athletic body type. You can use the link in the notes. We really appreciate it. Want to be coached by a 10-time World's Strongest Man competitor, master World's Strongest Man, a world powerlifting champion? Well, guess what? Whether you're a pro or you're a beginner, reach out to Nick. Link is in the notes, and he can help you out, take you to the next level, point you in the right direction, and get these things going. But like I said, if you want to get Nick at your event, you want to see Nick at your powerlifting meet, World's Strongest Man meet, you just want to do some speaking, well, guess what? You can use the link in the notes, reach out to us, and I will reach back out to you specifically and then get you all set up. But with all that being said, Nick, we are back, and Nick's had it. Yeah, he's had an interesting week because, for people who don't know this, Nick knows how to do construction.
Oh boy. I don't, but I'm an amateur door framer.
Like I said, a couple of things needed to be moved, but he removed the door frame and put it back. And luckily,
yeah. I had to move something large from the living room that needed to be stuck in the pantry that Callie wanted in there. So it got moved in there, but I had to take apart the door frame and put it all the way back together. So completely off. Door out, frame out, everything slid in, put into place, door frame back in, put together, and done. And I actually was successful. And I was very happy, and I felt very accomplished after doing that because I just kind of piece by piece took it apart and piece by piece put it back together. And then now I just got to fill it and paint it a little bit, but it looks great. I mean, I could really leave it as is, but I'm not going to.
Oh, yeah. You got to put the final details on it.
Yeah.
Doing housework like that, or sometimes it's very panicky because you can take something apart and, a 3-minute job turns into a 4-day, you know what I'm saying, a week job. It could definitely explode sometimes.
I was feeling like Tim Allen. But yeah, it was good stuff. So I felt very accomplished doing that this week. But
that's good.
It's kind of neat to be able to do stuff like that yourself and get into it that deep, and then still get it done and make it look and hit it on the head the first time. I didn't have to retake the door apart or anything, so it was great.
That's good. So that's good.
Very excited about that.
You know what I'm saying? Accomplished.
Yeah. It's amazing what you can do when you borrow somebody's nail gun too. I'm like,
that's it. If they get it back.
No, he got it back. Darren was actually really great. He brought it over. He said, I'll come get it in a couple of days. I'm like, no. Let's go run this right now. I'll be done in like 10 minutes. Like, what? All the prep work's done.
Yeah,
cut everything. It's all set up. All we got to do is nail it in. It's done.
Nice.
He's like, holy cow. And no joke, like 20 minutes later, I was done with everything. So it was pretty neat.
That's good. I'm glad you planned for it because a lot of people don't plan for it. A lot of people just like, I'm just going to do this. And then there's no thought or effort into it. They're like just thinking they can do it. But God.
Yeah, well, it's like anything in life. Things go step by step by step. And if you follow each step, so I dismantled it with the pieces on the outside first and just kept working my way in. And then I just reassembled it that way. And as I was dismantling it, I realized because there were no shivs between the door jamb and the 2x4. Mm-hmm. And I kind of realized they were using the molding to get the straight edge and then going into the molding and then into the door jamb.
Yeah.
With two separate things, every single one, nails.
Yeah.
But all the way down. So I was like, okay, that makes sense. And that's how I put it back together. And it worked out perfectly. Literally perfectly. I should have been more happy. So,
with being accomplished like that, actually, you just did some deadlifts and you was hitting 425?
Yeah, I did 425 for 20 this week. So that felt pretty darn good. I mean, it was effortless. I'm very excited about that. And in 2 weeks, I'll jump to 450. 2 weeks after that, 475. 2 weeks after that, 500. So in 6 weeks, I'm going to pull 500 for 20 is my goal. Once I do that, then I'll start going up and pulling heavy singles.
Yeah.
During that process, though, on the opposite week, I'm going to do block pulls from just right at or just above my knee, and start putting the weight on it. You know, like I'll start going up last week I did 500. This week I'll probably do, last time I did it at Brian's, I did 500. This time coming up next weekend, I'll probably do about 600 and see how that feels, and just keep testing that pressure and keep building it and building it and building it. So by the time I get to pull 500 for the reps, it'll probably be in the 800 range that way off the blocks.
Okay. So, and with you doing that, what's the thought process? Is it just to get the feel of the pressure, or just to build the strength up?
It's to get the feel of the pressure. Strength wise, I would want to go up into the thousands, 1100. Mm-hmm. This is to get used to the pressure for deadlifting off the floor after abdominal surgery. Okay. Because I want to strengthen the scar tissue. I want to, get it to be more pliable as well and not so rigid. So when I put on my belt, it doesn't bother me. I don't feel it. I'm not thinking about it. Eventually, I won't feel it at all anymore. And once I don't feel it all anymore, I know it's good to go. The inguinal hernia that I had fixed in 2000, it was very similar. But that took a lot longer because where that incision was, there was even more stress put on my abdomen wall when I was doing those things. Yeah. So that actually took about 16, 17 months to get over. This is getting over a lot quicker. Plus I have more experience and learning from what I did last time. And it's in a different area. And the doctor did a really good job the way he cut the muscle and stitched it all back together. It's actually, he did a phenomenal job. Dr. Wilson just really knocked it out of the park with this. So
thank you, Dr. Wilson.
Yeah, no kidding. But I have to build that pressure up slowly and give it in little increments so that, okay, it could handle it. Okay, good. It's a little sore the next couple of days. Well, as it's sore, that means it's going to heal. Yeah. As it's healing, it keeps rehealing, getting stronger and getting stronger and getting stronger. I just don't want to push full all out, even though I probably could now, because it's dangerous. Yeah. So just slow, methodical process of getting through it. That once I get there, the funny thing is it comes really fast. Yeah. Everybody's like, oh, it's going to take forever to get over this. And it's like, yeah, it's going to take a little while, but it's a process. Just go through the process, and all of a sudden you're back to where you were, and it seems like no time. By the time it's all said and done, it actually goes pretty quick. Well,
that's the thing is you got that experience behind your back, like under your belt. It's like, you've been through it, you know what to do, and you're going through the process. It's all like, even for myself, I'm just trying to get into the mindset of like, how you're like, what's a comfortable speed to always increase? You know what I'm saying? Maybe it could help somebody maybe going through the same situation where they're like, they're not deadlifting as much as you are, but they're like, trying to get that slow integrate into what they're doing.
Well, here's the thing. And it was told to me by Bull Stewart of all people, Bull Stewart and Ed Cohen are probably the two biggest powerlifters I look up to the most. I mean, I truly do. But Bull Stewart sat down and goes, look, if you put 33 pounds on every one of your lifts, on squat, bench press, and deadlift, your total is 100 pounds heavier every single year. He goes, you do that 5, 6, 7 years in a row, not only are you going to be world class, you're going to end up being national and world champion, and it's an achievable goal. So if you can put 33 pounds on any lift in a year and methodically do that the next year and methodically do that the next year, you put 300 pounds on a total in 3 years. That's massive. Yeah. That's absolutely massive. You go from a 1,700 to a 2,000 pound total. Not that many people total over 2,000. Yeah. And then you do it again, it's 21. You do it again, it's 22. 22, the community you keep getting into each step you get to is
a little more inclusive. Yeah.
So my goal is nobody's total. I've totaled 990 kilos at 50 years old. Yeah. I want to total I want to be the first person over 50 to total 1,000 kilos. So
heard that.
Yeah. So that's my goal for September. My squat's coming along really good right now. I did 715 at Brian's a little over a week ago. And then yesterday, You guys haven't seen it yet, but I did the Hatfield squats with 725 yesterday.
Nice.
So that was pretty darn cool, and it wasn't that hard.
Yeah.
So I was very happy about that. And so it's progressing good. My bench is coming back along. I did 465 this week. So that's coming back. So my goal is anything over 800 keeps that string, any squat over 800 and then total over 2000 keeps that string together. And I think this will be the 27th or 28th year of doing that, because I want to get to 30, but I also want that total. So my plan is to have my second attempt in the squat be 815 and my third attempt be 859. That's my goal. Doesn't mean I'll get it, but that's my goal. My goal is to bench 507, but my goal is to bench 534. And then my goal is to pull 810, which will give me 1,000 kilos. But my goal is to pull 837 or more. So, because I figure Andy's probably going to pull somewhere between 821 and probably 848.
Yeah.
With the suit on.
Yeah.
Mine's done raw. That's okay. But he's going for the biggest deadlift of all time over the age of 50. Yeah. Which, okay. And my goal is to come into that contest in September. Yeah. And if he breaks it, re-break it.
There you go. Say reclaim the prize.
In a powerlifting meet.
Yes. Sanctioned powerlifting meet.
No, his will be sanctioned.
Oh, yeah, but that's what I mean.
But it's a single
both
lift
of them.
Meet, so,
both of them,
which is okay. But, I want to do it in a 3-lift meet.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Kind of old school the way they have to, because when I first started, there were no single lift records.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the things is like you get a lot of people that have these single lift records, but it wasn't in a meet where they had to actually compete for each and every other.
Well, in the past, if a bench presser was going to come in and set a bench record, he still had to squat and he still had to deadlift. Mm-hmm. He would never win the contest, or very rarely. Yeah. But to get that record, he still had to squat and deadlift. Yeah. For it to be put up there, and then I want to say either in the late 80s or the early 90s, they just started doing single lift records, and it's been on from there. But I want to go old school. I want to do the records in a powerlifting meet.
That's it. Nothing wrong with old school. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Done correctly, done right, the old school way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, and speaking of old school, a lot of times we get these questions and we get people that write in the comments, and people want to know, what was your first powerlifting meet, your first strongman, your first and not just what the events are. I want to know, and I'm pretty sure everyone here would like to know, what was your thought process going in there? How did you feel? What was going on through your mind? You know what I'm saying? Everyone wants to know the juicy details of stuff like that.
Well, my first powerlifting meet was my junior year in high school, and Anthony Bach, who was a senior and the guy that got me into lifting, and was like, okay, football's over, let's go. My sophomore year, get your butt into the gym. I'm like, okay. Yeah. And he dragged me in there, and he's like, okay. And I watched him do a powerlifting meet, at the end of his junior year, and then his senior year, he was doing powerlifting meets. He's like, okay, come on, you're going to a meet, you're going to do this. And so I had to go, squat, bench, and deadlift, and get a total and everything else. I was like, okay. And it was a surreal experience, because I had no clue, no idea what I was doing. I was just kind of following along and follow the example led. And I think I got third place at that contest. And I was like, ooh, I like this. Yeah. I like this a lot. And, came back a year later and won the state title in the 198s my senior year of high school. Damn. So I squatted 490. I think I benched 315 maybe. And then I deadlifted 425 at that contest.
At a senior level.
Yeah, at 198 pounds. Yeah.
Goddamn. That's freaking strong.
So that was kind of like my first state championship. That was the first thing I ever won. And that was a pretty neat experience to do that my senior year. And I took that T-shirt and I cut it into a tank top. And I trained in it for forever. And the cool part is now Callie wears it. But I still have it. It's kind of neat. My first strongman contest was at March Air Force Base. And I want to say in 2004, in March of 2004, that was a pretty neat experience because I had no idea what I was doing. It was kind of like, I just showed up and did it.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like looking at a couple of the guys, like I think Josh Thigpen was there. Good God, I can't even remember all the guys that were there. Ode Hagen though was there, and he was like encouraging me, telling me some things and helping me fix some technique things. And I remember Jill Mills was there, Becca Swenson was there because the women were competing that day too.
Yeah.
And it was a really neat thing to watch and do. And I finished in the middle of the pack. And I realized it wasn't because I wasn't strong enough. I just had no idea what I was doing. And so I was like, okay, you know, we're going to do this. I'm in. This is fun. My son went with me. My parents actually went to it. And I think that's one of the few strongman contests they've actually seen live. And it was just a really neat, fun experience that I totally fell in love with the sport that day. Totally fell in love with it.
And you just went cold, like no training, like I just from powerlifting, this is what Yeah,
just from gym training. Like I had no idea how to lift the log, no clue. The yoke, I think it was like 750 pounds. And, you know, I remember Josh Bryant just running with the thing. And I was like, wow, okay. And then I picked it up and I'm wobbling all over the place, but I made it the length of the course.
Yeah.
So I did okay, but I was like, all right, well, I like this event. I just got to figure out how to do this event. And then the Conan's wheel, that was pretty cool. I found out I was pretty good at that, not having any idea what I was doing. So I was like, okay, like this one. We pulled an F4 Phantom fighter jet.
Oh, that's so cool. Especially at your first. Man.
Yeah. So that was kind of neat hooking into that with no clue. Wrong shoes. Technique wasn't real great. But it was neat. It was a great learning experience. It was a lot of fun. I absolutely had a blast doing it and was just kind of hooked on the sport from that point on. So that was kind of cool. The first win in strongman came the next contest. There was a qualifier for nationals, for amateur nationals in Denver, Colorado. And I went to that. And I guess the guy that was fourth at nationals showed up to it.
Yeah.
Trying to qualify for nationals, and everybody's like freaking out. And I won all the events but the log, and he got second in all the events, but he won the log. So no, it was good. It was the only event I didn't win. It was my first. That was my first win in a strongman contest.
Oh, okay.
It was my second show.
Man.
So it was pretty cool. It was a lot of fun. And he looks at me, he goes, "Well, there's 2 pro-ams between now and nationals." And he goes, "You'll probably turn pro at one of them."
Yeah.
He goes, "So good luck." I was like, "Thanks."
Now, leading into that show, did you change your training, or like you actually like, all right, I need to figure these things out?
Yeah. So like I was training at a 24-hour fitness.
At all the places.
They have those hex weights, and I knew the events were like farmer's walk. Turned out to be pretty good at that, I guess.
Yeah, just a little bit. You're a little bit good.
There was a shield carry. There was a deadlift, log, which that one I couldn't. I just tried to train with a regular straight bar.
Yeah.
And I don't think there was any stones. And there was a vehicle pull where we had to, I think, pull a tractor.
Yeah.
So I didn't really. I just tried to be in shape for that, having already pulled the airplane and not doing too bad at it. I changed my shoes. I think I got a pair of rock climbing shoes to do that. And that made a big difference.
Listen to that tip right there.
Yeah. Yeah. But I took some bands and I would band together the hex dumbbells at 24-hour fitness. Yeah. And so I had 150 and a 145 banded together dumbbells, and I would carry those like a farmer's walk
Yeah.
Like about 60 feet down, I would turn around and come back.
Damn.
And that really did a lot, making me pretty solid at the farmer's walk. And then I would pick up the 150s and go from one side of the gym all the way, because it was on a second floor, the weight training area, go all the way around to the stairs and then all the way back to the dumbbell rack with the 150s as well. Which was probably well over 300 and something feet.
Yeah.
And then going through a course at the same time.
Yeah. And trying to be stable the whole time.
Yeah. So that really made a big difference on my grip. Plus, those dumbbells at 24 Hour Fitness are slightly thicker than normal. So grabbing something a little smaller just made it way easy.
Yeah.
And then I also band the 150s together and turn them sideways and set them on a pedestal and would pick them up and do those as a front carry.
If there's a will, there's a way.
Right. So I did those as a front carry, and lo and behold, I won the shield because we had to go down and back with it. And I was like, zoom, zoom. So it made it was cool. It was neat. You had to be innovative as you're training and just take anything and outthink it, and try to pick it apart and find ways to train things without having them. And it worked pretty good. I never even touched Atlas stones until Van Hatfield's meet, and I think June of 2005, which was the second pro-am that I went to. Yeah. Because Chad didn't have him in his contest. Yeah. When I did his show. And so that was the first time I ever touched stones. So I had no idea how to do those either, but still get
how'd that go though? You know what I'm saying? Especially on your first go with the stones.
Well, that was kind of crazy. Let me backtrack just for a sec. So I go to the Pro-Am, which is in Indiana. I meet Chad Coy for the first time, which is great. Brought Dylan with me. Our boys played together. It was just a really neat experience. And it was a Pro-Am. So the pros are in competing with us. Yeah. But there's prize money for the pros. Yeah. And the top amateur turns professional. He gets his pro card. And there was two of us that beat all the pros that were in the contest. Ooh, man. And the guy that won is looking at Chad going, does that mean I get the first place prize money? He's like, no. I was like, okay. But the guy I never saw the guy again. Yeah. And it was by a point. And the car deadlift was last. And I want to say it was Bergman that pulled like 11 reps with the car. And Bergman's really, really strong. He's also kind of short. So a car deadlift, a side handle car deadlift. Yeah. Is a big advantage for him. And he just killed it. I mean, he absolutely killed it. I mean, dude is phenomenally strong. And I was like, okay. And the number to beat for second place was 7. So I had gotten 8 and knew there was no way I was going to make it to 10 or 11 to either tie or beat him. And I was like, and my back was pretty well shot. So I knew, okay, I got my 8. I turned, and this dude still hasn't gotten 1, and he needs to get 1. Yeah. To beat me. And with about 5 seconds left, he pulled out that very last one and got it. He clipped me by a point, which, okay, cool. Chad turns and looks at me and goes, yeah. He goes, you need to go get more experience touching the events and doing stuff. Yeah. Van Hatfield's got a qualifier up in Utah in a month. You should go do that show. Yeah. So I was like, okay. And he put me in touch with Van. I went up and did Van's meet. And this time there were 7 pros in the contest, not 3 like at Chad's. And so there was a lot of them. And one of them was Travis Ortmeyer. One of them was Kevin Nee, Grant Higa, and there was like 4 other guys that were in there that were pro. Yeah. And the very first event was a tire flip and Hummer tire drag. And Hummer truck drag. We had to drag the truck backwards. Man. So pull it. And I remember Shannon Hartnett was there, and she's like looking at me. She's like, come on, Nikki, you're a hell of an athlete. You got this. I'm like, okay. So because I went to college with her. I went to Sonoma State. I played football. I did track. So she was heptathlete of the year her senior year. She's an amazing Highland Games competitor, powerlifter, stuff like that, strong woman. And I was like, okay, cool. And I just went after it. I got second place in the first event. Travis beat me by half a second.
Yeah, Travis would do that.
Yeah. And so we get to the next event, but I beat all the other pros, and all the other pros beat all the other amateurs. So now I have a 6-point lead over all the other amateurs.
Yeah.
We go to the log, and I finish towards the bottom, which I was like, okay, whatever, it is what it is. Next event was the frame carry, and it was an 800-pound frame. I get to it first before Travis. Nobody's budging the frame, by the way.
Yeah.
Nobody. They're not even getting it off the start line. So zero. If you can move it an inch, and get it off the line, you get a point.
Yeah.
Nobody was even doing that. And so I get up to it. I pick it up. I go about 3/4 of the way, and I'm hauling.
Yeah.
And I drop it. My callus tears off my hand. I rip the callus off, re-grab the thing, pick it up, and finish the course.
Yeah.
So not only am I the first person to lift it and get moving with it, I'm the first person to finish.
Yeah.
Kevin Nee comes after me, and he goes and he gets it, the length of the thing, the length of the implement into the course. So he gets, second. Right now he's getting second place points. It's not 1 point. At that point, it's second place points.
Yeah.
And then Travis comes up and doesn't drop it and finishes the course. So he got first, I got second, and he got third.
Yeah.
And then everyone else got zeros.
Damn.
So not only did I pick up the 6 points over the amateurs, I picked up all the points from those zeros.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got a pretty good lead going. We get to the deadlift. And on the deadlift, they kind of went powerlifting meet style, but it was a rising bar. So the bar never went down.
Yeah.
So you could end up going right after yourself if you picked the weights wrong. And so I opened the heaviest by, I want to say 2.5 pounds.
Okay.
And so Kevin had went, Travis had went, I had went. Kevin went again. I called for 765 from, I think it was like low 700s. I called for 765, not knowing the NAS record, North American Strongman.
Yeah.
Whatever. I forgot what NAS stands for now. It's been so long. But it was the amateur. It is what is the ASC is now.
Yeah.
Or Strongman Corporation is now. The amateur record was 755. So I walk, Kevin pulls his last lift at 765, gets it.
Yeah.
Okay, he's in first. Travis comes up, pulls 765 on his second, is now tied for first, but has one more lift.
Yeah.
And then I walked up and I pulled 765 and put it right back down. And I break Travis's record. He goes, "Oh, you break my record by 10 pounds?" I'm like, "Yeah, sorry." He goes, "You want 800? I go, "Yeah, put it on."
That's it.
And he's like, "Really? You want 800? I go, "Put it on." So they put 800 on. Travis pulls it to his knees and misses it.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "Are you done?" And he's like, "Yeah." I walk up, strap in, pulled it right up, and smashed his record. Which, I mean, Travis and I are just, we're good friends. We've been doing this a long time together. And it was just a really neat experience. But it was cool. And with that lift right there, I had done, and I didn't even realize it at the time. And I started like looking at the points and counting everything because I won, and there was another 7 point gap between me and the nearest amateur because none of the amateurs were able to outlift the pros in the deadlift.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy cow. And I started counting how many people are in and how many points I have. I'm like, I won. I don't even have to do the last events. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm all excited. And I go, I looked at Deanna. I go, "I'm a pro." She goes, "You still got stones?" I go, "I got more than enough points. I don't even have to do the stones." She goes, "You need to go do the stones right now." I'm like, okay, I'm going to do them.
That's it.
I have no idea what I'm doing. And the stones were pretty porous. So it was tearing up my forearms. And
yeah.
I think I got 3 of the 5 stones. It didn't really matter in the end, but
yeah.
It was just a great experience. Van puts on a great contest. Van helped me so much at the start of my career. I can't even thank the guy enough. I mean, he sent me, eventually one of the times I went up there and trained, and he sent me back with a stone and he sent me back with a log, which I still have the log today. to train with, so I could actually get better and do Atlas stones and stuff like that. And then I didn't compete as a pro for about a year till Vans meet again, till Vans contest again the following year in Utah. Finished kind of like in the middle of the pack. I think I won the frame carry, but there was a lot of other stuff. Going up to the pro level is going up another level from amateurs. It's no joke. But I was learning quickly. My next door neighbor, Jaime, out of scrap metal, had made me a yoke after I got back from this contest.
Nice.
And I had practiced it a few times, come back, did a contest in Philly like 3 weeks after that. I think I placed 5th or 6th at that, but I qualified for nationals, for pro nationals. Which at that time was a feeder into IFSA Worlds, because the split from World's Strongest Man, where IFSA left World's Strongest Man at the end of 2004, you know, the IFSA Worlds had already had theirs in 2005. Going into 2006, it was to see who the team was going to be. And the top 6 at nationals would get to go to IFSA Worlds.
Okay.
And I'm still really green, still really inexperienced, but I went to ASC Nationals and, you know, went through that, and I ended up finishing 6th, which wasn't too bad. I mean, Steve McDonald won, Travis Ortmeyer, I think, got 2nd, John Anderson was 3rd, I believe Kevin Nee was 4th, Derek Poundstone was 5th, and I was 6th. So that's a pretty good.
Yeah, let me tell you right now. Yeah, that play it beat right. That is a well-earned 6, because every one of those guys is a beast.
Yeah, and I mean, it was a neat experience. We had a car squat, and I did really well at that. And then we had a yoke, farmer's walk, and chain drag medley, and that's where I figured out I could really yoke really well, because I was like down, and the farmers I was down, and then the chain drag I kind of realized I need more conditioning and didn't really know how to carry the chain. But you learn on your feet. I think I was in the top 3 or 4 in that one. I think I was 1st or 2nd in the squat. I got it going back. And then I remember getting ready to do the tire flip, and Derek's like, just try to stay by me. You're going to have a good time. I was like, okay, well, I'll try it. And I ended up just clipping him at the end of that. And he's like, remind me not to do that again. It's like, it's okay. But I mean, you end up loving. I mean, these guys become your lifelong friends after some of this stuff. You know,
that's it.
It was a neat experience. So at the end of the contest, top 6 were supposed to be going, and about 2 weeks later, I get a call from Dion. You know, and this is now, mind you, I went from Vans contest to the qualifier to nationals, and this is a span of about 4 weeks.
Yeah. Damn.
So there's
like no recovery. There's like no recovery.
So, you know, and that was my first like experience as a pro. And then Dion's like, okay, well, now they're only going to take the top 3 instead of the top 6.
Yeah.
So she goes, you just keep training like you're going.
Yeah.
I need people to be ready as alternates and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, no problem. And then Kevin Nee signs a contract with Metrex and IMG, and he's going to World's Strongest Man. So he's out. He's not doing IFSA Worlds.
Yeah.
And then John Anderson is over, I think, in the Ukraine or Russia, and they did a like a sumo wrestling thing, and he blows out his knee. And John's out. And I'm like, oh my God. And so Dion's like, keep training like you're going. You're the next one in. So Derek's now in that spot, and Derek hurts his back. And that injury that Derek came back from really just, whatever he learned from being hurt and coming back from that, just took him to a whole nother level. Because the Derek Poundstone before he got hurt, the Derek Poundstone that came back was night and day.
Damn.
The Derek Poundstone that showed up in 2007 was just an absolute insane animal. He really was. And I mean, it was amazing to watch. It was amazing to be there. It was amazing to see.
Yeah.
But Derek hurts his back, and Dean's like, "Are you ready? Are you in?" I go, "Yeah, I've been training my tail off. I'm ready to go."
It.
And so I get to go. I'm sitting there. We get to Iceland. It's a neat experience. Magnus has us picked up in like this big, huge Hummer stretch limo, big bright yellow, and it was just a really neat experience. But you're like smelling funny when you get there. You don't realize you're on basically a active volcanic area,
it's sulfur,
and it's sulfur that you're smelling.
Yeah.
Which was my first experience at a world level contest. And it was just incredible. We get there, we get set up, we go through all this stuff. We go eat in a couple places, we do things, and it was a really neat experience. And of course, this is the middle of November in Iceland. So it's cold, it's snowy, it's completely opposite of where Las Vegas is like.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I brought warm clothes and I still was not warm enough.
Not warm enough, yeah. Not prepared for actual snow.
No. But we go out to dinner, and it was kind of neat how they did it, because they basically had three captains. It was Sojournis, Vasil Vistruk, and Misha Kukliev.
Yeah.
They were the three captains. And then they took a bowl and they would pull everybody's name out of it till they filled up their heats. And there was 3 heats, 8 guys to a heat. And it was pretty neat how they did that, because then you couldn't say anything. The heats aren't arranged. It's not anything. And then the events were already predetermined. And I remember we were at the first 2 events were at the Alcon aluminum factory.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's 20 degrees outside, which means it's 20 degrees inside.
Yeah.
There's no heat in that place.
Yeah.
And it was quite the experience. The one side room that they had was huge. That was heated. They opened the doors to bring this front loader in because it looked good for camera.
Yeah.
They closed the doors, so it was back to freezing. And the first event was the Farmer's Walk. And earlier, or the night before, we'd all went out to dinner, and Yarno Hams is sitting there teasing me, "Oh, you're the one that's just lucky to be here." I'm like, Yep. He goes, "There's a 900-pound yoke here. You gonna be able to lift that?" I'm like, "Well, I think I might be able to squat it, so I'll probably be able to lift it." And he looks at me, he's like, "Oh, that's in the finals. Don't worry about that."
Yeah.
I'm just like sitting there going, "Really? Okay."
Oh, thanks. Yeah, really trying to tease you.
And I love Yarno. I mean, I've known him forever, and it was just kind of neat. And so we get through it, and the first event's the Farmer's Walk, and they're 275 a hand, which isn't super heavy.
Yeah.
But the IFSA cylinders are round like a log.
Yeah.
And they're as long as the log without the thing to add weights on at the end.
Yeah, the bars.
And so you can't get them off your legs. And the handles are in the top part of them. Yeah. So, I mean, no matter what you do, they're so awkward and they're hard to move with. And I remember I was my very first event at a World Championships at IFSA Worlds in 2006 was the Farmer's Walk. And the world record was like 50.4, 50.5 seconds. Yeah. And that was Andres Mermetz that had that record. And I'm sitting there and I'm racing Benedict Magnuson of all people.
Yeah.
I'm like sitting here going, this dude deadlifts like 970, 1,000 pounds. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. And we're in Iceland.
Yeah.
His home
turf.
Home turf. I'm like, okay. So we pick him up, we go 25 meters. I make the turn, and you had to turn.
Yeah.
So those long handles.
Oh my God.
They just want to keep turning.
Yeah.
But I figured out how to kick it with my leg as I was making the turn to straighten it out, and I was able to keep flying right on down, make the next turn. And Benedict's right there with me. We're flying.
Man.
And I hear him drop.
Oh.
And I just keep running. And now I'm starting to struggle holding on to it. And I'm like, and I just bolt as quick as I can go, heading for that finish line. And I drop right before the finish line. Wait no time, just grab it, yank it, and run and finish.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. And then everybody in the building is going nuts. I have no idea what's going on. And the camera's coming at me, and I turn around to go cheer on Benedict.
Yeah.
And I'm like yelling at him and cheering him and trying to get him to finish. And he finishes. And I turn around, and everybody's like freaking out. Then the oxygen jet hits.
Yeah.
From doing that, I can't breathe. I'm like, you just see like a breathing fire because it's 20 degrees in the place.
Straight on fire.
They're like, how does it feel to break the world record? I'm like, what? Because apparently, I broke it by like 3 seconds.
Oh my God.
I was like, wow, cool. And we're the first heat or the first event. So
That's it.
So we're the first to go.
Damn. And now everyone else has got to live up to that standard.
Well, I got to sit there and wait to see if anybody breaks it.
Oh. And
I remember, it was crazy. Sitting there, and Dougie Edmonds is like, I don't know if a SEAL might have went faster. He goes, I'm going to have to check that. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
And he comes back and goes, no, you broke the world record. I'm like, cool.
That's it.
So that was pretty neat. And get through that. And Andres Mermetz is on the next bus coming in.
Yeah.
Because our heat's done with this.
Yeah.
We're done for the day. We did the aluminum block pressing, which was kind of crazy, kind of scary.
Yeah.
Did horrible at it. But Andres comes in, and guys are coming up to him telling him I broke his record, his world record. And he's just like, you break the record? I'm like, yeah. He's like, okay. He goes, let's see. And to his credit, he came out and did it in 48 seconds. So he would have broke his own record by 2 seconds. But he dropped him in the same place I did.
Oh.
And he picked him up and crossed the line, but he just didn't quite get to him as quick as I did.
Yeah.
He goes, if I just wouldn't have dropped him. I go, I know, I dropped him in the same spot you did. He's like, you did that time and dropped him?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Moving.
Yeah. So, and it was kind of neat. We kind of hung out a lot through that whole thing and the competition stuff. So that was pretty cool. But that's how it started. And then I ended up finishing 4th in the heat and making the finals because the top 4 got to go to the finals.
Yeah.
And we get to the yoke event in the finals. And I ended up picking it up and just flying down the end and setting it down. I think I got 4th in that event. And I looked at you and went, was that the yoke you were talking about?
Yeah, was that 900-pound yoke?
Wait a minute, you're not in the finals. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about that. Yeah, it wasn't as heavy as you said it was.
He just gave you a high five. And, yeah, we've been great ever since. That dude's crazy because we got to go to the Blue Lagoon.
Yeah.
Which is a geothermal hot springs that you go to.
That sounds amazing.
And there's railings and walkways and stuff. And he did a backflip off the railing into the
oh my God,
into the Blue Lagoon. And I'm like sitting there going, wow, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, that is very crazy.
Yeah, because the thing's only like chest deep. It's not really deep.
Whew, man.
So, but that was pretty neat. It was a fun experience. Steve McDonald didn't make the finals, and he was America's strongest man that year.
Yeah. And
then Travis Ortmeyer got 10th. I got 9th. So I was the highest finishing American that year at ISSA Worlds.
Nice.
So it was a really neat experience for Worlds for my first time and my 4th show as a pro.
Yeah. It's freaking insane. You know what I'm saying? It lets you know that hard work, dedication, and training to what you do and what you love, it'll take you a fall.
Oh, yeah.
That's
it really will. And then, I finally got to World's Strongest Man in 2010. Mm-hmm. And that was a pretty neat and special experience for me because I was 41. I was almost 42 at that point because it was September of that year. My birthday's in November. So it was a pretty neat experience because I actually won 3 of the events in my heat.
Yeah.
So it was like Lawrence Chalet, Sadrunas, me, Louis Philippe, Agris, which I can't pronounce his last name, and Warwick from Australia.
Yeah.
And the the first event was the farmers, and I did well in it, but I messed it up a little bit. The handles were really thin. They were super sharp.
Yeah.
And then the handles were really kind of long. So it was almost like running into the ground. But I got third in that event. We go to the next event, which is the squat event. And I did 11, but they took one away. And then 3 of us got 10. Sadrunas and Lawrence got 11.
Yeah.
And then Louis Philippe gets 1 point for doing 7 reps with 750 pounds on the squat.
Yeah.
And it was one of the craziest squat heats because, I mean, you had 2 guys at 11, 3 guys at 10, and 1 at 7.
That's insane.
Yeah, it was unbelievable. The next event was the Africa Stone, and they made us pick it up off the ground. Mm-hmm. So there's no podium. You had to pick it up, lap it, and then carry it as far as you can.
And that's an awkward freaking shield.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know why they call it the Africa Stone when it's made out of steel.
Yeah.
Doesn't make sense to me, but hey, whatever.
Yeah.
So I'd figured out in the yard that I was going to put it in my lap.
Yeah.
I was going to slowly pick it up. We had 30 seconds to get it in the lap or get going on the course. Yeah. And I was going to set it in my lap so I could interlock my fingers and go. And that's how I was going to do it. Nobody else did it. No clue why, but I picked it up, took off, and went down, made a turn, came back, made another turn, made it all the way back down, made the turn and a few more steps and dropped it because I didn't know how it was going to go because I was like kind of like in the first part of my heat. So I had to put a distance out there. Yeah. And I went like over 79 meters with it. Yeah. Second place for that event in the whole competition was 12 meters shorter.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Well, when you got to set that marker, you got to set that marker.
Yeah. So I put it out there. Sadrunas went just far enough to get second place in that event. Yeah. Which Louis is actually really good at the shield carry, and so is Lawrence. And it was just an issue for him, and Sadrunas caught him and beat him.
That's it.
But the next event was the axle clean and press, and I zeroed it. I couldn't get it. It was 342. I cleaned it 4 or 5 times, but I just couldn't finish the press. And I got a 0 in that event, which was kind of crazy. Next event was a car deadlift hold. Yeah. And the drama was going to be between me and Lawrence. Yeah. And Louis. But so they had Argus and Warwick go, and they finished. And then Louis was going against Sadrunas. And Sadrunas finally dropped, I think, at like 108. Yeah. And Louis, for whatever reason, maybe assumed that was good enough, puts the thing down at the minute 10. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, I guess he thinks that's what's going to win. You know? And so Laws and I but I'm still like 4 points behind Laws at this point. And I was like, okay, so I need to win this event. Yeah. And then we'll go from there. And I hear Laws drop. And I heard the time, and it was in the 50-ish second, full well knowing that Louis and Sadrunas went into the minutes. Yeah. So I'm thinking, I'm going to make up 3 points on this. I got to hold this. And I just closed my eyes and put my head down. And I'm just holding it for all I'm worth. Not really thinking about the time. Not really thinking about anything.
Trying to space out.
I can't hear anything. And I closed my eyes. I got sunglasses on so you can't see it. And I finally open my eyes and look because it feels like it's rounding me over. Yeah. You know, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I like open my eyes and I see everybody going like this to me. Yeah. Put it down. Put it down. Put it down. I'm thinking I did something wrong. Yeah. Because I don't know. And I'm like, wow, the judge is telling me to put it down. And it was Colin Bryce, of course. Yeah. And so I put it down and I'm like catching my wits. I'm really dizzy. My wife's going nuts. She's all excited. I have no idea why. And, you know, they come out and they're going, mate, you held it 8 seconds too long. And I'm like, I what? And they're like, you won the event. You held it like 118. You only needed to hold it 111. So that was kind of cool. So win the event. I'm like, oh, wow. Because I was like disappointed. You could see the look on my face
Yeah.
Like I thought I did something wrong. And I'm like, oh, there's no way I'm going to make the finals now.
Yeah.
And then to the elation of, oh, I held it way too long and I won the event.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool. Wife's all excited. Callie gives me a big hug and kiss and stuff. And that was really great. And then we got to go get ready for the last event, which was a barrel race up the beach in Sun City.
Yeah.
In the sand.
Yeah.
And I was 1 point behind Lawrence. And that event was the tiebreaker. Or the count back would be the tiebreaker. Actually, back then the count back was the tiebreaker, and I'd already won 2 events. So, and Lawrence didn't win any. So all I had to do was beat him. I'd be tied in points, and I would make it to the finals.
Nice.
So Cedrinis was already too far ahead to catch.
Yeah.
So Cedrinis went out, did a little bit, stopped. I think he did 1 or 2 barrels and then just called it a day. He didn't even go that hard to get through the heat. Louis still mathematically, I think, was kind of there, but he just, I think he might have done 2 or 3 barrels and just gassed out. Mm-hmm. Argus and Warwick, it really, I think they did a couple barrels. And I'm like, okay. And so it's me against Laws.
Yeah.
And we go and we're going up the hill in the sand. And Laws gets his on a little quicker than I do. And I push my back, I turn, and I'm seeing Laws that far ahead of me. And I just sprinted. I mean, I felt like I took 3 steps in the sand, was at the other end. I mean, I just flew. I hockey stopped, sprayed everybody behind me with sand, which I felt kind of bad for that. Grabbed the keg, picked up and took off and just left Lawrence.
Yeah.
Like just boom. And then
kick that next gear in.
Got the second one up, did the same thing, come flying back, grab it, get the third one up, and then came back down. And my hamstrings are starting to lock up. We're elevation because we're in Sun City, South Africa. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm carrying the thing up and I'm wobbling a little bit and keep going. Then I dropped the keg. I ripped something caught and ripped part of my callus off of my hand. Oh, which it made it really slippery.
Yeah.
And I come up and I finally get up to the thing and I try to get it up there and I miss. I try to get up there again. I miss. And my hand's bleeding. It's really slick. And Lawrence is just coming up nice and smooth, nice and easy. Comes up, gets the barrel up, almost gets it on the top, drops it. And as soon as it hits the sand, they blow the whistle. And I knew I got 3 up quicker. I was through to the finals.
Yeah.
Totally excited, celebrating. There's a great picture of me and my wife right after that. That I'll cherish that picture for the rest of my life. I mean, it was just an amazing thing. And I had made the finals, and that was a really neat experience. It really was. Mm-hmm. And to get there and do that at that age when everybody's like, why are you still doing this? You're just getting into this now. And I'm like, well, I like doing it, so I'm going to do it. So and it was my passion, fell in love with the sport and wanted to get there, and I got there. So it was a lot of fun.
That's what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about. Man, Nick, you know what? I think we're going to cut it right there because guess what? Man, that was you literally led into you tied the stories seamlessly together. So I'm hoping the listeners today actually appreciate, you guys just got a beautiful timeline of the first time for Nick.
On a few of the things,
a few of these, exactly.
Yeah.
So, Nick, before we get out of here, hit us with those beautiful, beautiful words.
Well, hey, like, share, and subscribe. And as always, train hard, train smart, and be the best you can be.